they puked while the ride was going. You need to tell them they must behave and listen to you, or the Grinch will poop on their pillow.
Oh, wow.
What? That's what the Grinch says?
I don't recall that.
And
Love that.
That is sweet. Okay, Derek, we do have 2 packages over there. Do you want to open them real quick before we wrap up this podcast?
Oh, there is.
Coloring.
That is so cool.
Nicole has wonderful handwriting.
Welcome back to Baker's Banter. We got a lot of fun days right now, and especially this one right here, Baker's Banter.
It's a lot of fun.
Lots of fun.
Do you enjoy it, Derek?
A lot, actually.
Good. I'm glad.
We got Jake over there. We did have Jack before he left, so we just got a little party humor too. So we got Miss Katy Baker right here. What's up? Teacher live softball as well. We're going to talk about that today, so that's super cool. And we got Miss Jenna Continental Classic. Jenna Continental Classic Baker. Over there.
I don't identify with this.
When he first started saying that second word, it sounded a little bit like he was going to start at Jenna, see you next Tuesday.
Oh,
And I
my.
was very scared about that.
I did not say that. I said
I hope he doesn't even know what that is.
Continental Classic. That's coming up in a few more weeks.
Welcome back, Katy Baker.
Hi, thank you.
Guys, we have to let Katy embarrass herself real quick.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh, we're just going to get going right immediately.
Katy,
What are we embarrassing?
I could, like, Katy had me in stitches the first time she told me this story. I have been waiting for you to come back on the podcast to talk about it because it's just so amazing. Okay, so let me set the scene for you guys. And I will take some of the blame because I do feel as though I misled Katy a bit here.
She led me astray.
And I wish I would have been more specific, even though I do think I was very specific. But so Katy went to Universal Studios, and Katy and I both experience motion sickness, but Katy has always had it worse than me, and I do not envy her for that. I actually feel very sorry for her that she experiences such bad motion sickness. But
I bet you can guess where this is going.
but so Katy had one day to spend at Universal Studios. She was going to be going to both parks, and she was going to Halloween Horror Nights. And I was just in Universal Studios, and that's the second time I've been in the past 3 years. And I went to Halloween Horror Nights both times. And while I was in Universal, I took detailed notes for Katy about what to do, when to do it, how I felt, how the medicine impacted me, if the medicine worked, all the things. And I told...
Medicine being Dramamine.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I told Katy, I said, I think you should try the Harry Potter rides. And I really only told her to do that because we love Harry Potter so much. Like, if it was just me basing my suggestion on my knowledge of her motion sickness, the level of motion sickness she experiences alone, I would have probably told her don't get on a single ride. But I know how much she loves Harry Potter, and if you don't go on the ride, you miss out on a lot of the experience because some of the things you can only see when you're physically on the ride. And a lot of the stuff you can only see if you're standing in line for the ride. So I'm like, at a minimum, go through the line with Ryan. Like, at minimum, you got to go through the line. But I also based my suggestion on...
We never went back to Six Flags.
Yeah. Well, that's because both your sisters have motion sickness and your mother. So we don't really do roller coasters. But Harry Potter roller coasters we do because we love Harry Potter. But based on my experience, I was there in
September.
And the last time I was there 2 years ago, I was there in October. And based on my experience, when I was there in October, when it was a little bit cooler in Florida, temperature-wise, the lines were significantly longer. So when I was there in September, it was pretty hot still, and the lines weren't quite as long. Katy was going the day after Halloween. So based on my experience, I told her that I expected the lines to be long. And now I should have emphasized, like, I'm giving you this recommendation with the plan of there being a long line. But what I told her to do was, first things first, go straight in, go to Hagrid's. Ride Hagrid's. Do not ride Hagrid's with anything in your belly. You can go get breakfast right next to Hagrid's afterward. Just ride Hagrid's first and then go get your breakfast and then get in line to go on the Hogwarts ride.
I had a fine time at Hagrid's, by the way.
And she had an empty belly at Hagrid's. Well, I told her to go ride Hogwarts after eating, expecting her to have to wait at least an hour to get on the ride. How long did you wait to get on the ride, Katy?
15 minutes.
Yep. So she went with a full belly, and she had just eaten. And
Now we all really know where this is going.
And how did it go, Katy?
She got a free T-shirt.
So we start the ride. I'm like, it's like you're flying through the castle. That's what they want you to feel like. But really what you're doing is you're just going up and down and up and down and up
forward
and down,
and sideways.
And not really moving at all. And the VR component is like so terrible.
It's very discombobulating.
It's cool, I'm sure, for people who aren't like me. But for me, it was terrible. And I just closed my eyes. So I am just stuck.
You probably shouldn't have closed your eyes.
I am just stuck on this ride. Ryan's to my left, and there's a lovely little boy and his dad sitting to my right.
How old approximately do we think this boy is?
9.
Oh, he was really little.
He was pretty young.
It's his first time on a roller coaster.
Maybe 11. And I'm just like trying to do breathing exercises at this point. My eyes are closed. I'm in through my mouth or in through my nose, out through my mouth.
She's probably on this ride for, I would say, about 3 minutes. Minimum.
I don't know. It felt like years.
I timed most of them, like not literally timed, but like timed. Like I looked at my watch before I started, and then when I got off, and nothing was longer than 4 minutes. And that one was shorter than Gringotts.
Terrible. I was immediately sick. I was just stuck there. I was like trying to breathe myself through it, and I just couldn't hold it in any longer, and I puked while the ride was going.
And it's moving fast. Like
this one's not moving that fast.
But it feels like you're moving fast. Like it's giving the perception that you're moving fast.
Yeah. And then I puked a little more. I mean, there was an attempt to keep it in, and I failed. I won't give more details because
she swallowed some of her puke.
I did. I was able to swallow the third round.
How do you try to puke?
So, anyways, finally, the ride comes to an end, and I'm distraught. I'm like, at this point, I have tears in my eyes because I've like been struggling so much, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? It's 9:30 in the morning, and I got there 30 minutes ago, and my day's ruined. Like, I have puke everywhere. And I'm like, I have puke everywhere. What do I do? And they're like, oh, do you need like to clean up? And then they look at me and they're like, oh, yeah, you do. So they bring me through this like.
Mind you, when you get off this ride, the ground is moving.
Yes. It's like like those things at the airport that you like stand on that moves you. So like
the ride never stops.
The ride never stops. And I'm like, there's puke all over that guy. Like you might want to check that ride out and like clean it up. Like, what are you going to do? Just let someone else get in it? Well, anyways, apparently there was also puke on the little guy.
What did Dad say to you? Because Ryan said that Dad
Ryan
said
was
something.
just kidding. He wasn't.
So Dad
He
didn't
never
get
said
in your
anything.
face or anything.
No, but
I'm
and
sure
I don't
you
think there was like.
apologized.
Yeah, I did. I was very adamantly apologizing, and there was not a lot of puke on him. It just got on his leg a little bit, but there was a lot of puke on me, and there also
Poor kid. That's all
was a
I'm
lot
gonna
of puke
say,
on the
poor
ride.
kid.
They probably are telling this story as well.
Yeah, just a different account of it.
Once upon a time, there's a girl for rub on me.
So they brought me through what I believe to be the handicap entrance and exit. And then once I got through that door, there was another door to the left that I went through. And it was just this room that had 2 sinks and a mirror and then like a cabinet. And so this lady walked us in there and she was looking through the cabinet, asking me what size shirt I wear. They didn't have my size, so she ended up she was like, okay, I'll be back. She comes back with some water for me, and then she leaves again, and she comes back again. Did you know if you puke on yourself at Universal Studios, you get a free shirt?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a solid like $40 investment right there.
Yeah, and it was nice I puked on the Harry Potter ride because I got a Harry Potter shirt.
Yeah.
Like, thank God I didn't puke on some stupid ride that I don't even care about.
Right.
Well,
So, anyways, I'm cleaning
Did you
myself
fellas-
up. I think I'm good to go. I'm looking in the mirror. I don't see any more issues. I'm like, okay.
What'd you have for breakfast?
Oh,
Well, I mean, I'm just wondering.
We shared a frozen butterbeer and
Gross.
and a plate that had sausage and eggs and
Croissant.
croissant,
Yeah.
bacon.
Mhm.
Yeah. From what I can see in the mirror, I'm as good as it's gonna get. And so we leave the nice room that we have our privacy and Ryan can help me clean up and all those things, and we go on our way. I walk not very far and I go to just kind of wipe my butt and just kind of wipe away at my backside, and I get nasty in my hand.
ick.
And I'm like, what the hell? And so I look at Ryan and I'm like, do I have puke on my butt? And he's like, oh yeah, and all over the backs of your legs. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
I'm like, you were on the duty to make sure that the shit I couldn't see was good to go.
and they still made their year anniversary yesterday. Just saying.
So,
This was the part of the story that had me in stitches.
so of
So
course,
you're walking around Universal with puke all down your backs of your legs.
yeah. And Ryan, of course, just doesn't say
Oblivious.
anything or anything because he's
Oblivious.
yes. So, of course, I go up and find the nearest worker, and I'm like, do you know where the nearest family restroom is? Because in my brain, I'm like, well, this is on my backside. I'm not going to be able to see it very well. I need help. And they're like, I have no idea. And I'm like, great. So I go back to the women's restroom alone, and I bend over with my butt to the mirror and look in between my legs and get wet paper towels, and I'm wiping my butt. And then I hike up my foot on the sink and I'm wiping in between my legs and all on my backside and the backs of my legs. And I have nobody to help me. I guess I could have asked some random
I
stranger.
would have just
Just-
asked some random stranger. I just threw up all over myself. Did I get it all? It's a girl code. That's what we do. We help each other.
So pretty much the moral of the story is Ryan's an idiot for not, double checking. And multiple random strangers probably thought I shat my pants.
And the whole time this was going on, she was in the bathroom where Moaning Myrtle's moaning the whole time.
Yeah.
If you know Harry Potter, you'll understand.
Who was complaining more, you or Moaning Myrtle?
Probably me.
Yeah.
Internally, though.
Yeah. Moaning Myrtle was outwardly complaining for you.
So not only that, but I also had just bought brand new white shoes that puke got on. And then as I'm leaving the park, Ryan's dad picks us up. And he was like, Katy, I just wanted to let you know you do still smell like puke.
And this is
so
like
you might want to
10
shower when you get home. This is at like 11 p.m. I'm
yeah,
like,
it's like
thank
10
you
hours
so much.
later, I've stunk like puke all day.
Apparently, yeah. I guess Ryan and I were just nose blind at that point.
Yeah.
Definitely. There's no way Ryan thought you still smelled like puke. Like he was probably just used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you have fun?
We did have a lot of fun. It was a very exhausting day.
It is. It's
we
a
took
lot.
like 25,000 steps.
Oh yeah.
And we like kind of thought that we would start or like stay later because the Halloween Horror Nights is open till late. But I mean,
Oh yeah. I knew you.
we were
wouldn't.
eating dinner at 7. Like, when are we gonna get to go home? Like, we are so tired at this point. So we were ready to go when Steve pulled up.
Yeah. But the crazy thing is, I don't know how she did this. I gave her all these instructions. I tell her about Gringotts. I tell her about the 2 Harry Potter areas. I'm like, at nighttime when it's Halloween Horror Nights, there's not a lot of scary stuff going on in the Harry Potter part of it, but it's really cool to sit under the dragon with the fire and eat the butterbeer ice cream. And I'm like asking her about her trip. She's like,
ice cream.
butterbeer ice cream.
Yeah, we never made it to the butterbeer ice cream.
Bummer for you.
I know.
And she's like, yeah, I don't know how this happened, but we didn't find Diagon Alley until nighttime. And I'm like, what? I had like a good chunk of your day that you were supposed to be spending there. Like, what do you mean you didn't find it?
Well,
She's
they,
like, we
didn't,
couldn't
they don't
find
have it marked.
It's marked. It's right next to King's Crossing.
I don't know. I hope to go to Universal in February of 2026 with my cousin Lori, who also loves Harry Potter.
Me too.
I would recommend not getting
I'm
on the rides.
A little nervous. I'm not as bad as you.
Okay, you need, and I should have made this more clear to Katy rather than just assuming that there was going to be a long wait, but you need to take the medicine.
The Dramamine.
Well, I didn't actually take Dramamine
No.
because the thing about Dramamine is you can't take very much in a 24-hour period, and it's supposed to last 6 hours.
Just
And
so
it
you
doesn't
know,
last 6 hours.
I love roller coasters. Like any
Oh, I know.
roller coasters I go on at Six Flags, like the Superman and
I can't do that.
I
It
would
goes
never get on
backwards.
that.
Goes backwards. I can't do
Nuh-uh,
that.
the Superman's the one that drops.
Can't do that either.
Well, don't go
Well-
on Hagrid's.
Yeah. Anyway.
But
we'll
Hagrid's
figure
is
it
a
out.
straight up roller coaster.
See, Hagrid's
But-
didn't bother me. It was the VR component that was so disorienting.
Yeah, it is.
Because
Can I
it's,
go
your
with you?
body's not
You know what I
moving
mean?
in the way that it's making you think that you're moving.
Yeah.
And so that's like
It's
the
trippy.
problem.
I almost had a problem. Like the second time I rode Hogwarts, like when Chris and I went for the very first time, I rode Hogwarts, and at that point it was like our 3rd day there, and I was feeling confident. I hadn't had a problem the whole time. I did have one. I had a problem on the Simpsons ride. That ride is horrid. Never go on that
Okay.
ride, especially for those of you that have motion sickness problems. Like I was literally looking for the panic button. I was like, get me off of this thing right now. I'm gonna die.
Is there a panic button?
No.
I had never found a panic
And
button.
see, since if I ever go back, I'm bringing my own damn puke bags.
Well, sure.
Yeah.
Because I was on the plane ride home thinking, if I would have had one of these puke bags, that would have really helped me out and the kid next to me quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, so you just need, you can't go on the ride with a completely empty stomach or a brand new full stomach. Like you need, it's like what they tell you about swimming, you know, like you need to go on the ride about an hour to an hour and a half after you've eaten. And you need to go on the ride within about 30 minutes of taking. So what I found was actually, it was Dramamine brand created by Dramamine, but it was this like more of like it was almost like a natural supplement type thing that was supposed to help with nausea, and you could take it more frequently. So I took one of those pills before each ride that I went on, and I gave them to Katy, so we can save them for you. They can be like our universal pill. But I, because with the Dramamine, it's like a 6-hour window, and anything that you do in that last like 3 hours doesn't really work very well, in my opinion.
What ride? It
was probably the Batman that you liked so much at Six Flags.
Yeah, damn it.
Or the Joker.
The Batman or Joker's
The Joker
is a good one.
Yeah, I can't do that back and forth shit.
Or the Superman.
The Superman.
I
Just
threw
the
up.
drop.
Superman is
Jake.
good as well.
In 8th grade with the new boy in school, he asked me to get on the Ferris wheel with him. I got off the freaking Ferris wheel and upchucked.
At least
Okay, and you're not any better than Katy?
I'm not as bad as I used to be, though.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
maybe
maybe you'll
something
grow
other
out of
than
it,
puke?
Katy.
Yeah, well, okay, so let me talk more about my day. So we had a really fun day. We played some games at the little game arcade area. I got a call that Derek was in the hospital, and Ryan was like,
Yeah, that was
Ryan
that
was
day.
like, do
That's
we
the
need to
same
go
day.
home?
That was the same
That was
day.
the day I was at Universal.
Oh.
And I remember I called her because I didn't want her to accidentally see our location and then be like, what the hell? Why are you guys all at the hospital and didn't tell me?
Yeah. And anyway, so I'm like on the phone with Jenna, and I already know like it's
And
not,
at this point, I know she's already puked on herself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, not to make your day any worse, but.
and then so I'm like, Ryan walks back up and he's like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, oh, it's Jenna. They took Derek to the hospital. And Ryan's like, oh my God, like, do we need to go home? And I'm
That's
like,
why
what,
you made it to a year, Jake.
what are we gonna do? Like, yeah, anyway. But I also bought Derek a souvenir. What did I get you from Universal?
Scooby-Doo.
I got him a Scooby-Doo shirt.
Super cool.
And I
No
bought
way, I didn't
Mom
know.
a souvenir.
Alcohol and salt.
I bought her a shot glass from
That
Margaritaville that broke before I made it home from Universal.
That's okay.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun. Halloween Horror Nights was mid in my opinion.
You know, it was. It was so much better in 2022. I have a theory that something happened that they had to cut back on the amount of like scarers they had walking around the park because there was so many more people like jumping out at you or like, you know, lurking around being creepy in 2022. And they had a ton of people that year on stilts. And there was not a single person on stilts in 2024.
Yeah. And in 2022, did they have what seemed to be like the scare zones? Because there was like, you could see like there was like signs that would like, or there would be like a light on like either side of the areas where the scary people were, and then they weren't anywhere else besides within those own zones.
Yeah, so they did have scare zones, but they had so many more people right at the beginning in 2022.
Yeah.
Like the beginning was like we
Could be
walked in
one
and
or
I was
two.
kind of looking at Chris like, are we here too early? Like what's happening? Where is everybody?
Well, and like I was not scared. Like I did not get scared once, and I'm not like someone who doesn't get scared easily. Like I easily could have been like jumped out at, but like it just was like very, and also like I feel like no one was like unexpecting.
They also had this like one area in 2022 where there was like a whole scary show taking place that happened like every 30 minutes, and it was like a 10-15 minute show, and it was out in the open where like anybody could go walk up and see it at some point, and they didn't have anything like that. Like it was not.
We only
sad.
did one haunted house because like
The lines are
the
so
lines
long.
are so long. So we just got in and went straight to a haunted house when the horror night started. And even that was so mid. Like
It was really short.
it was really short, and the way that they space you out is like the people who are going to scare you are scared the person right in front of you. So it's like you're not scared because you know they're there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. And it was
Sounds
really
like my kind of haunted house. I hate them.
No, you wouldn't like the haunted house still, Mom.
I hate them.
she would still be
I mean, I do think I don't know. It was disappointing, but the food's really good at Halloween Horror Nights, which is like it's like a step up from what you can get during the day.
The only thing we got from the vendors at Halloween Horror Nights was the s'more, which was it was great, but like it's just a s'more.
Oh well, you should have eaten dinner there. Why
We
didn't you
had
eat
dinner at Finnegan's.
Well, why did you do that? I didn't tell you to do that.
Because
not
we
all
just
about you,
at that
Jenna.
point we just needed to sit down.
I told you needed to eat the dinner. The food at the Halloween Horror Nights is like one of the best parts.
Whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of how that went. And then the next day, Patty had made us a nice Halloween themed brunch. That woman goes all out.
That's Ryan's mom.
Patty,
Okay,
yeah.
tell me about let's move on from that weekend. Can we
Okay.
can we talk about the Chiefs game?
Oh my God, this was so insane, guys. So Ryan's a Broncos fan and I'm a Chiefs fan. And the Broncos
saw.
played the Chiefs at Arrowhead at noon on a Sunday.
Perfect.
So it was perfect for us to go to the game and then be able to drive home. Well, first of all, I will say it took us an hour and a half to get out of this Arrowhead parking lot after the game.
That's
I'm
not
not
surprising.
So that's brutal. It was also like based on where we were parked, we were like very close to the stadium. So like we had like the whole parking lot that we had to get out of. But it was like,
you kind of shouldn't have done that.
well, it was like the only spots that were still left at that point because
That's because everybody else knows that you shouldn't do that.
yeah. So whatever, but it was a great game. I don't know if we have any football listeners out there, but the Broncos were down by 2 going into the last seconds of the game, and Ryan was talking mad shit because they were set up for an easy field goal and the Chiefs blocked it. And Ryan, I'm not even kidding, was probably his jaw to the floor for a solid 15 minutes after that. He was so distraught. Everyone like around us was just like trying to leave, and they were just kind of like shaking their head and laughing at him because he was mouthing off the whole game. Like anytime the Broncos did something, like everyone knew because
He
Ryan,
got what he deserved.
Exactly.
You can't be mouthing
Ryan,
off. To
what
the stadium.
happened?
well, and Ryan was like saying like right as like they were supposed to be like about to take the lead at the very last.
He was
seconds
mouthing
of the
off
game.
to us, and we weren't even there.
He was like saying like I'm gonna talk so much shit on the walk out of here, blah blah blah. Like hell yeah, 8-0. Now you're 8-1, blah blah blah, and like it was just like
Obnoxious.
well, yeah, and you know, I mean not obnoxious. He was just being passionate.
That's her nice
Bordering
way of saying
on
obnoxious.
But so then they lost, and it was very devastating for Ryan, and the Chiefs remained undefeated. They are no longer undefeated at this point, but at that point they still were, and people were like walking out like
Sorry, buddy.
they were walking out like, oh, you're gonna have a fun ride home, and I'm like, yeah, to St. Louis, and they're like, oh my God, not like to St. Louis. And then yeah, they were just, and there were people, everyone was really nice. Like there was people that were like, tough loss, man, good game. And like Ryan didn't even want to hear it. He was like, ugh. And I was like, be nice. I'm like, don't be an asshole. But yeah, it was a great game. And that was that was the most crazy thing I've ever seen happen in a football game.
It
live.
was. I couldn't believe it. I like, so the game ended. Did we already say this? The game ended with
Yeah,
them
she
blocking
did.
the field goal.
And it was going to be like it was going to be, I think, a closer field goal than an extra point is. Like it was.
It was within the 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was a no-brainer win for the Broncos.
And it's funny because I was actually calling it. Because at that point, I mean, you've gotten down to the kick, and like the only option really besides like the kicker just like having the worst
Woof.
kick of his entire life is the blocked field goal, right? So I'm like, come on, defense, block the ball, let's go. And then it happens, and it was just crazy. The stadium erupted.
Of course.
And Ryan was just so shocked. And I mean, I was so shocked. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I thought they were going to, like, I had already, like, counted it as an L. Like, the Chiefs had lost the game, and it was time to, like, go home a loser. And it was just the most hilarious thing ever because with Ryan's cocky ass and then just, like, the pure shock and disbelief and horror on his face afterwards, I was like, you poor guy. And it really did suck because we also saw the Iowa State game the day before, Iowa State versus KU, which Iowa State is Ryan's favorite college football team because he went to high school in Ames, Iowa. And his team lost that game. So he paid for 2 football games that weekend, and his team lost both.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that is pretty brutal. Okay, so moving on,
Ooh,
I
go.
do want to talk about your second year teaching and get an update from you on how that's been going. But before we get started full-fledged into that conversation, I heard that Derek has had some advice for you.
Yeah, so last week when I was going to bed on Thursday night, Derek came in and said goodnight to me. And he was telling me about how I needed to tell the kids to be good and they needed to listen and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, I'll do my best. And he said, well, this is what you got to tell them. You need to tell them. Do you remember what you told me?
What's the advice, D?
You mean what the Grinch said?
What the Grinch said. Do you want me to say it?
Say it.
You need to tell them they must behave and listen to you, or the Grinch will poop on their pillow.
Oh, wow.
What? That's what the Grinch says?
I don't recall that.
And then he also told me to make sure that I told him that Santa was watching.
Yeah.
Derek, what?
Did you tell your kids that the Grinch was going to poop on their pillow?
I did not.
Oh,
Derek-
come on. Give it a shot. See what happens.
Derek, when in the Grinch does this occur?
You know the Grinch.
Did you just make that up?
No, I did not make it up.
Does it happen in the movie?
I don't remember the Grinch pooping.
I've seen the
In
Grinch
the
a whole
movie.
lot of times. I don't recall that.
And then the question is would the poop be brown or green?
Oh,
Great question.
Obviously, be green.
Comment below. Brown or green?
I was green. Green poop.
Green poop. That's funny.
Where did you come up with that, bro?
He's
it was
very
so
creative.
funny though. I was like, that is just so hilarious. But yeah, I mean, year 2 has been going pretty well. I think within education, and especially as a person who teaches high school math, you're always going to have your challenges. But I've got a bunch of sweet kids, and I've really enjoyed getting to build new relationships with them. My classes are more well behaved than last year. I'd say 2 of my classes are still more rambunctious than I would hope they would be, but in more of a respectful way, if that makes sense. It's not like they're being assholes. They're just chatty and distracted. But one of the things that because I gave them back their chapter 3 tests today, and some people were not as happy with their scores or whatever. And I was like, I think a lot of this has to do with our focus in class. And I also was like, it's not all about you. If you're happy with your score, that's fine. But you might have distracted someone else who's not happy with their score. And that's especially why I'm always trying to get on to you guys about creating a environment that's conducive for learning, because
I do have to admit, I think I was part of that problem.
Oh, I was
and I was too. And I was one of the kids who was the problem, but still got straight A's.
Yeah.
And
I classify
have
myself
those
in that
kids, but
category
the
as
problem
well.
is some of their friends are failing my tests.
Yeah.
And it's well, that's because you're talking to Billy Bob the whole time.
Yeah.
And so we do need to hone in on our focus a little bit. I do think the most recent chapter is one of the hardest chapters of the year. Exponent rules are never fun to teach or learn. So, but yeah, I mean, I really like teaching where I'm at. I've got a great team around me. Just continuing to build relationships with my coworkers, and I've got an awesome co-teacher. So
How is the brown paper bag policy going?
if I'm going to be honest, I've been a slacker.
What the heck?
And
I think that's amazing. I think you got to use it.
apparently the brown paper bag policy has been going quite well for a coworker of mine.
Well, why haven't you used it?
I should crack down on the phones more. They're not as much of a problem as they were last year, but I do need to because I'm soft.
You're soft.
I'm soft.
That's embarrassing.
She
for
loves
you.
her kids.
She is not soft.
I know, but she, when you love your kids, it does impact. I mean, as
She
a
loves
parent-
me, and she's not soft.
I mean, I'll tell my kids how it is, and I yell at them all the time. I'm constantly like, you guys are so annoying. Because they are.
Well, you should probably get out the brown paper bag.
I think you
I
gotta
know.
use the brown paper bags.
I know. But the brown paper bags aren't going to help the fact that they just want to yap the whole time.
I don't know.
That's my major problem.
I don't know how
Put
to
the brown
tell you
paper
that.
bag over their head.
Oh my God. I don't know if that's allowed.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
I was
Definitely
kidding.
not allowed.
I was
Yeah.
kidding. I was
Inappropriate,
kidding.
right, Derek?
It was a joke.
Bad
didn't-
idea,
I don't
Jenna.
actually think she should do that.
Good thing Jenna's
You
not
don't
a
want to
teacher.
pepper my phone, so why are you attacking me, huh?
I don't think I attacked you.
Really? Then why my phone's over there?
Because it distracts you.
Yeah.
Why my phone's over there?
Okay.
Whoa.
Because you're like my students and you need a brown paper
That's
bag.
bullshit.
Okay.
okay.
Okay. What else are we talking about today?
So, how was softball season?
It was good. I was really impressed with my team. We had an awesome team this year. We had quite a few girls from last year come back. We had some really solid pitching, multiple girls to rely on, which is always good. We had some injuries that were unfortunate, but overall we were really happy. We ended the season 11-9 maybe. Over 500, so we were super happy about that.
Were you over 500 last year?
No.
No. Yeah.
I think last year we were 8-10. But yeah, I mean, we were really happy. We scored like 200 runs on 21 games. So that was pretty impressive. We got second place in one of the tournaments that we were in, and as long as the coach I coach with has been coaching there, he's never made it to that game, and they've always been in that tournament, so that was a big feat.
So it's because you're there now.
Exactly.
Right.
But yeah, it's fun. It was a lot of fun. I do think our team's going to look a lot different next year. We did have 8 seniors graduating from varsity, so that's going to then bring a lot of people up from JV, and it's going to be a lot different next year, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But we did have a freshman pitcher that we used a little bit this year that we think we're going to be relying on quite a bit more next year that we think could be pretty good for us. So hopefully she continues to improve, and she's ready to go and to be our number 1 next year. But no, it was really cool. I think honestly my favorite part about coaching this year was just getting to see the growth that my athletes had in the year since the season had ended last year. I think that a lot of the girls had very, very, very like exponential growth in their skills, and it was really cool to see that in play and like see them, working with the pointers that we gave them last year and working on those things and developing their craft and coming back to us even better this year. I mean, most of our girls are playing summer ball, so they're getting a lot of reps over the summer, and that's part of the reason why there was that, drastic improvement. But it was still really cool to see that growth.
So last year you had somebody tell you not to smile until Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and she's right.
Did you smile? Have you smiled?
I've smiled, but I mean, I definitely came in more harsh, and I've been like more stick with it to my expectations. I think that I definitely could probably, because okay, here's the thing. My 3rd, 7th, I adore. I think they're wonderful kids, but they are so freaking annoying and chaotic and overstimulating and scatterbrained, and they throw things across my classroom, and they take each other's papers and they crumple them into balls, and I'm like, you guys cannot. And so I love them, and I don't want to get them in trouble because I know that they have parents that would kick their butts, but I probably should just contact home more because I'm sure I could get that class whipped into shape if I had a little bit of a mom and dad at home in their ear. But it's I also just once you build a relationship and you've built trust with the child, you don't want to break their trust either. So it's kind of walking that line. And like one thing that they said to me was like, can you just give us a warning before we're like, when we're like on that tiptoe? And so now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, and this is your warning. And then they like kind of, but I don't know. I think that it's hard because there's so many people in that class that are friends with each other. And my room is so small, you just can't spread them apart. And so it's like trying to get them to understand that like it's not social hour and like there's a time and a place. And like if you're working independently, that's fine. But also like we have to make sure that we're working. We're not just chatting and like all of these things. But it's exhausting. And like, yeah. So, I mean, I love them though. Like and that's the difference, because it's not that I didn't love my class last year that was so hard, but they just like, they were just nasty to me in a lot of ways. And like, you could tell that they didn't respect me. And like these kids, they seem to respect me and like me a lot. They just have too much energy and they don't know what to do with it. So there's just like a difference. And
What were you going to say, Derek?
Nothing.
Oh,
He doesn't know.
he looked like he had something to say.
That was a while ago, though.
I know. Well, I was trying to give him his space.
Well, I think it's amazing what you do. It's so important. I'm so proud of you.
thanks. I do my best. And sometimes it's not good enough for people.
You know what? You're gonna think the same thing as a parent. You do your best, and sometimes there's things you should have done different.
Uh-huh.
But it's been good. I'm enjoying it.
I love that.
I have a lot of people tell me that I'm their favorite teacher. And I'm like, thanks.
You're
And-
like, I should be.
And
I'm cool. Like,
math.
yeah, that's 'cause I'm awesome.
good.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of your kids struggle with math, which is why
They didn't
see
say
you
it
every
was their
day.
favorite class. They said I was their favorite teacher.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. You got to like be extra good for you to be their
it's
favorite
just
teacher.
because
and
I
do
like
math.
I think that my kids understand that I truly care about them and that like I'm truly interested in their lives. Like I always ask my kids on Monday, or if I don't see them Monday, then on Tuesday, like, did you guys have a good weekend? Like, do anything fun? And I always ask my kids on Friday, like, do you have anything fun going on this weekend? I also do High Five Fridays. So last year I did High Five Fridays, and like a lot of my students would just walk past me and not give me high fives, which is nasty
Rude.
and rude. But this year, every single one of my students gives me a high five every Friday.
I love that.
That is sweet. Okay, Derek, we do have 2 packages over there. Do you want to open them real quick before we wrap up this podcast?
Oh, there is.
This is from Nicole in Union, Missouri.
Wow.
Nice.
Hi, Nicole.
You should drive past you a lot, Nicole.
The code.
Okay, let's see. This is from Nicole. And let's see. Let's take that. Well, there's a picture of Nicole. Do you want to see?
Yep. There's Nicole.
Dear
With the photo.
Dear Derek Baker, my name is Nicole Bowen. I live in Union, Mo, and I am a huge WWE fan.
Wow.
I have
That's awesome, Nicole.
I have watched your videos, and for my birthday, I asked for a video camera so I can do videos too. You inspired me. I also
What? I just said I want to be a editor, and now this is damn
Made your day.
really awesome.
That is awesome. I also have Down syndrome, and I am 24 years old. I am missing tonight's Monday Night Raw because of surgery. So this was written a while ago. So I think that she missed the Monday Night Raw in St. Louis because of surgery I had last week. I would love to meet you sometime and to be friends. Love, Nicole. And then she put some NXT, Raw, SmackDown, AEW coloring.
That is so cool.
Nicole has wonderful handwriting. That's better than like half my students.
That is great handwriting.
And not only that, it's so straight.
Yes, on an unlined paper.
Super.
Okay,
impressive.
Queen. Go
Yeah,
off then.
Speaking of straight
I see?
writing, can I make fun of myself real quick? So I gave Chris this list of the
In fact,
people
can
that
you-
I
am
needed
right?
him to find addresses for. And I wasn't really giving it to him with the intentions of him writing the addresses directly on that paper, but that's what he did. And I gave him this, full length sheet of paper, but my names kind of like started here and ended like this. So then all the names at the bottom, he like really had a hard time fitting the addresses next to them. And I was like, well, you didn't have to write them on this page. And he's like, well, what else did you give it to me for? And I'm like, I gave it to you so you had a list so you could check them off. And he's like, well, you wrote it all crooked. And I was like, yeah, I did do that. Okay. Okay. So these must be some of the things that, wow, you and Nicole really must have a lot in common, because these must be things that she likes, and turns out you like a lot of them too. Or maybe she just knows you like them, because it's really impressive how many of these things you
This is like, yeah.
Okay, so share with the rest of us.
Wizards of Waverly Place, Kelsey Ballerini, WWE Superstars, Jelly Roll, iCarly, Taylor Swift, Jonas Brothers, Man Work, St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Blues, Play Snow, Kansas City Chiefs.
Whoa.
And then she wrote, I love the Jonas Brothers too.
Oh, okay. So these
So
must
maybe
be
these are things that she
Derek-
knows that you like.
Derek likes.
I wonder how many of those
Let's
things
see this.
Nicole likes.
Jonas Brothers, Jolly Rolls in there.
Oh my gosh. There's
She
more.
is not done.
Phineas and Ferb, Austin and Alley, Baker Banter, Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Scooby-Doo.
Oh, Scooby-Doo is great.
She has great penmanship.
Wow.
She
really
does.
does.
I can tell we have a big wrestling fan and a big Disney Channel fan. I'm wondering if there's like some sort of Disney Channel to WWE pipeline we're not aware about.
Yeah, we need to work on that.
Hey, talking to your mic.
Carly. That is incredible.
Thank
That
you,
is pretty
Nicole.
cool.
Awesome art.
That
Here.
is absolutely incredible. I'm shocked to put Ray and Dominic in here. That's not.
That is good.
Do you think it was nuts to put them together? She should have broken them up.
Put them on opposite sides of the paper.
Yeah.
They're too close. They might start fighting.
So this is from our friend Trista.
Trista, huh?
Trista the barista?
Yes, and I believe it's from her Trista's Sunshine Company.
Oh, nice.
So why don't you want to open that up? Do you want Katie's help?
Nah,
Can I
get
help
it.
you?
Okay, what I
I
do
get it.
I do need you to talk into your mic.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Looks like there might be some stuff for Jenna too, because Derek doesn't wear scrunchies.
I don't know.
Well,
Let me
looks
see this
like
paper.
because of scrunchies for Jenna and Katie. There you go.
Thank you.
Pretty. I bet she sewed these.
I bet she did.
Did. This is cool.
That's a sleep mask.
Max.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure I don't wear one.
Well, I'm pretty sure I do.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Lavender infused sleep mask.
got,
That makes it even cooler.
and I got a t-shirt.
I love that. Let me see.
Oh, it smells good. Smells good.
Oh, Sunshine Squad. Trista's Sunshine
Squad.
Company. I love that.
That is awesome, Trista. Thank you so much.
Katie, I'm laughing at you, but you can't see me.
Oh my God. Trista, in case you're listening and not watching on YouTube, Katie has put one of your sleep masks on and she can no longer see us. Trista's,
No, but it's quite relaxing. I think I might fall
I wish
asleep.
she said 3. One of you guys can get me one for my birthday, for Christmas or my birthday.
We can do that. Trista says, thank you for having me on your podcast. It was fun. From Trista. P.S. I got you a special gift. And
I wanna
this
see
note
it,
says,
Derek.
thank you, Derek and Jenna. I appreciate you. I hope you love your order. I love to design and sew my creations. Thank you so much for supporting my small business and helping me spread sunshine.
I love that. Ooh.
That's so sweet.
So,
That is awesome.
and she
you
signs
so much.
everything. Look at that. She signs
love
this fun
that.
scrunchie too.
And she signed that in cursive.
Yeah.
And there's a sticker on it.
There is
It
a
says,
sticker.
Yes, I can. Yes, you can. Look at that. Yes,
I've
you
never
can.
done this on the podcast. I am folding this shirt very nicely.
Okay. Well, I think that's all we got time for today, Derek. What do you think?
That is so cool.
What do we say to Trista and Nicole?
Well, first of all, Nicole, loved the letter. I loved it. Big Dominic fan. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Big fan of Dominic, Carly, all that. That's really cool.
Oh my God.
I'm glad you like Greg. So am I. Right now. So yeah. And
Trista, let me read this note too. Derek, you are awesome. Welcome to my Sunshine Squad. When you wear your Sunshine Squad t-shirt, you are telling the world that you are part of Trista's Sunshine Squad and that you're on a mission like Trista to spread sunshine by doing acts of kindness, trying new things, being a good friend. Thank you for joining my Sunshine Squad, and find at Trista's Sunshine Company on all the platforms.
Did you think that was going to be such a tongue twister to try to read? Trista's Sunshine Squad.
Yeah, that really did trip me up a little
Sunshine, sunshine, sunshine.
bit. That was not the
Well,
easiest.
well, I gotta admit, the stuff I have is really good. So thank you for both of you, especially you, Trista.
Yeah,
You're an angel.
I just like had misplaced one of my scrunchies that I pull my hair back to wash my face with. So perfect. Now I've got a replacement. And the lavender infused sleep mask. Yes, please. It smells so good.
We'll have to get you a different one, Mom. You don't like smells.
I don't like smells.
I wonder if she makes any without smells.
It smells good, but I wouldn't want anything smelly.
So I gotta know, Derek, before we wrap up, is this just like something that's here to stay, or
Let's not talk about that.
It certainly looks like it's here to stay. He's got it. It's quite long.
It's
He
so
actually
long?
said he was going to shave it off before Thanksgiving, but I encouraged a shave today, and we just did the cheeks. So it may be gone next week.
Derek's
Yeah.
rocking a goatee.
I think you look better without the goatee.
But I'm better with the goatee than the long hairs on his cheek.
Just the sporadic hairs all over. Yeah.
Yeah, don't let that.
Don't love that at all.
At least they're congregated there.
Okay, from that, we are out of here. Stay tuned for regulation wrap up top 10 on Thursday. Check out Jenna's Etsy store, Christmas,
JBJ Creative.
the greatest, all the stuff. Subscribe, share, leave
Leave a positive review.
that as well.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. We'll see you on Thursday and next week.
I've never seen him ever do an outro so efficiently in my life.
It's because you started insulting his goatee.
Yeah, he's ready to get out of here.
All right. Peace.
Thanks for having me, everyone.
Peace.